Hi guys, this is Codex KL. So for today's video, I will show you how to self-host your DNS server, proxy server, ticketing system, and your local area network. So these all technologies are free. So if you want to change this as a wide area network, you just need to add some configuration and technologies. I will give you some example like Cloudflare for tunneling, VPNs, twin gate, tailscale, zero tiers, or you just need to self-host or host it into the cloud, like put it into the AWS, easy to instances. It depends on you guys. There's a lot of cloud provider there, so but in this tutorial we will just focusing on the free and in the local area network. So guys, before we start, I will discuss all you need to configure by your own. So Windows computer with VirtualBox installed or other, you can choose a Proxmox, VMware, etc. As long you can install this 3 virtual machine running Ubuntu server and configured it a static IP. So the information about my lab, home lab. So the router that I'm using have this IP address. So this is the network I will be using on this setup. So I have this IP. So as you can see, my virtual machine 1 having the same network as the router, and the fourth octet is the 201. So we will install the Adguard here. We will use this to create a custom local domain name. So I will discuss this later. And the specs is 20 GB storage, 2 gig RAM, and 1 CPU core. So this is not a beefy VMs, guys. This is a minimal specs. So VM2 IP address, and the last octet is 202. So we will install the Nginx proxy manager. We will use it as a proxy server and reverse proxy. So specs is the same as the VM1. So the VM3 has this IP 2.203. So we will install Peppermint here. Peppermint is a open source ticketing system, guys. You can check it out in the GitHub. So we also have the specs: 25 gig storage, 2 gig of RAM, and 1 CPU core. So all of the information that I discussed is also here in the diagram, but we have an extra information like the configuration of the Adguard and the Nginx proxy. So as you can see, all of this domain are pointing in the one IP, which is the IP of the Nginx server. Why? Because in the Adguard, guys, we cannot specify the exact port that we want to point. So that's why we need to use a Nginx proxy manager to do that task. As you can see here, the domain name are pointing into the real IP and port of the application that we want. So, and there's a lot of benefits if you're using a proxy server. So guys, domain name ticket.local 192.168.1.203. So that's the IP of the VM3, which is where the ticketing system is running. As you can see, it will pointing on the port 3000. So the Peppermint is running on the port 3000. That's why I put this port 3000 here. As the same as the adguard.local, it pointing on the VM1, which is running this IP and the port 80 HTTP. So also the nginx.local, which is running on the port 81. So guys, we are in the part of the Adguard installation. So note, ensure the Docker is installed. So we need to edit this file to free the port 53 because we need to use it on Adguard. So we will having a configuration, so we just need to copy this command. So paste here, put the password, guys. So as you can see here in the resolve section, we need to find the DNS. So we put any DNS server that you want. So for me, I'm gonna use a Cloudflare. So next we need to find this, guys, DNSStubListener. So we need to add uncomment this. So we need to change the value to yes and to no. So let's save it, clear the screen, and let's check the next step. So after the command, create a symbolic link for the command we configure to this configuration. So let's create the symbolic link. So enter. So it's good. So we need to restart the server. So let's go to the server, guys, and let's start it. Let's reboot, guys. So sudo reboot. There we go, guys. So let's just wait for the server up. There we go, the server is up. So we just need to SSH again. There we go. So let's move on to the next step, guys. We need to run this command. So this command, guys, is on the official Adguard in the Docker Hub, guys. You can check it out if you want a documentation about this. So I will be discuss this command first. So the Docker run is for the run the container. So dash name, the name of the container. So this backslash, guys, is used for the readability of the command. So we're telling to the system that this all command is only one command, is one line command, guys. So the next is the restart. So this the logic of this, guys. If you it will be only stuff if you run the Docker stuff and the name of the container. So if you don't do that, it will always restart if you accidentally restart your server or else. So dash b is for volume, guys. We will use this for the persistent of the storage. So I will not discuss all about this directory. So the port, this port, guys, is for the DNS. This port is for the DHCP 6768. 80 is for the HTTPS. 440 is for the HTTPS. This is the HTTP, guys. I'm sorry. So the 3000 is the custom port. 853 is the DNS over TLS. These are all custom port. So this dash D, guys, is equals to daemon. We will run the container in the background. So we will just need to copy this, guys, and let's run it. So unavailable event, it will pull the image in the official Adguard in the Docker Hub. So let's just wait. So as you can see, it's done, guys. So we just need to Docker PS to ensure that container is running. So let's go into the port 3000, guys. So 192. So as you can see, I have there you go. So let's configure it. So admin web interface, so we can access the admin web interface in the port 8080. So we can change that, but we will use port 8080. So also this DNS server listener, so 53, port 53. So next we just need to create our username. So to make sure, guys, this is secured. So this is the configuration, guys. If you configure this DNS and you put it into the router, you don't need to configure every devices that connected to that router. So if you don't want to do that, guys, you need to configure one by one to use this DNS server. So open the dashboard, let's log in, guys. So that's it, we are finished in the Adguard installation. So let's go to the next step. So guys, we are in the next step. We need to install the Nginx proxy manager. So you need to use the second server that you have. So ensure that Docker and Docker Compose is installed. So we need to create a directory, change directory, and create this Docker Compose file. So this is from the official Nginx proxy manager in GitHub. So let's start. I was SSH on my Docker Nginx server. So let's create a Nginx folder. So cd, let's create a nano docker dash compose, so YAML. So we need to copy this command. Here we go, service, then the name of the service, which is the app, so the image, so also the restart, the ports, and the volume. So that's the only for this Docker file, Docker compose file. So you need to run it. So Docker compose and app dash d, so enter. So create this. So guys, it is done. So let's check Docker ps. As you can see, it was running on the port 81. That's for the admin panel. Let's check it out. So let's go to the IP of the server, which is 192.168.1.202 and port 81. As you can see, we have a login here. So I know they have a default credential. There you go, the admin at example, and the password is change me. So let's log in, admin example, and change me. So there you go. So we need to change the email, the full name, and the nickname. So for this demonstration, I will be changing the email only. So there you go, the new password, change me, new password, save, password match, sorry for error. There you go, we have the Nginx proxy manager dashboard. So let's continue the next step. So let's install the Peppermint, guys. This is open source ticketing system. So you need to ensure that you have a Docker and Docker Compose installed. And let's create a directory, cd, same as the Nginx proxy manager. So let's go to the server, mkdir peppermint, cd to peppermint. So let's create a nano docker compose dot yaml. So let's copy the command. So as you can see here, they are using a 2 containers. So they have a Postgres container and the Peppermint itself. So let's save this, guys, and let's run docker compose up dash d. So So guys, the installation is done. Let's check the containers. So as you can see, this is the peppermint and the Postgres container. So let's go to the browser and let's check it out. So 192.168.203/3000. So as you can see, we have a login page here. Let's see the default credentials. So let's get the email. Admin 1234. So let's go to the dashboard, guys. As you can see here, this is the ticketing system. This is open source, guys. You can check it out into the GitHub. So let's go to the next step. So guys, let's go to the Adguard and go with the filter and DNS rewrites. So let's add a local domain name here. You can add the ticket dot local. So also the IP in this nginx proxy. So let's save. So we have a for the ticketing system. Let's create for nginx dot local and put the IP of the nginx. Let's create also for the Adguard, guys, adguard.local. So let's put the IP of the nginx also. So the next step, guys, we need to go to the nginx proxy manager, go to the proxy host, and we need to add this. So first the ticket dot local. So add the ticket dot local here, HTTP, and the IP of the real ticketing system server. So for me it's a 192.168.1.203. so the port is 3000. You can see here the port is 3000. So let's save. That's it, guys. So we have ticketing DNS here. So let's add more for the domain. Also add the nginx dot local. So add HTTP 192.168.1.202 and the port 81, guys. So use the port 81 and save. Also let's add the last one, the adguard dot local. So let's add adguard dot local HTTP 192.168.1.201. So let's go to the port 80. So there you go, guys. Let's save here and we can use this domain name to access this free website. So we don't need to access this in the IP address. So let's go, let's try ticket dot local. There you go, it's running. So as you can see, ticket dot local. So let's access the nginx dot local. There you go, guys, it was running. And the last one is the adguard dot local. As you can see, all are running. So you need to ensure that you're using the DNS server, guys, because it will be not run if you don't use this as your DNS server. So thank you for watching, guys. See you on the next video. Bye bye.